Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Match Centre Live for the 2021 season. It's the opening day of the Premier League season and it's on a Saturday for the first time in quite a few years. Previously it's always been on a Friday night where the season has opened, and one of those years where that happened was including Arsenal when they beat Leicester 4-3. That was 2 years ago, but Arsenal were included on the first game of the season this year away from home against Fulham, who are back again in the Premier League. Hasn't been too many changes from their side, which struggled in the Premier League a couple of years ago. But here we are at Craven Cottage. Kick-off about 2 minutes away. Thank you all for tuning in for today's stream, as we are back for another season. We doubled our subscribers in the post-lockdown period when we started streams again last season, which is why we've decided to continue doing it for this season. So we have Fulham against Arsenal live in about a couple of minutes, and it gives us a good chance to go through the lineups for you. Starting off with the home side, Fulham. In goal, it's Rodak. They go with a back four of Odoi, Hector, Ream and Brian. The two holding midfielders are Reed and Kearney. And then Cabano playing right mid, Cavallero playing left mid, former Spurs player Josh Onuma playing in cam, and he is behind Kamara up front. And as the away side Arsenal, Leno starts in goal, a back three of Tierney, Gabriel, new signing of Coulson, holding. The wing backs are Maitland-Niles and Bellerin. I would imagine Maitland-Niles will play on that left hand side, with the two central midfielders being Xhaka and El Neni brought back into the Arsenal team. Aubameyang looks like he's going to be playing on that left wing with Lacazette ahead of him. And then to the right, new signing Willian against his former rivals Fulham. And he'll look to make a good start in his Arsenal career. And he, of course, joins a lot of players, or a list of a lot of players who have joined Arsenal after good Chelsea careers. Players like Petr Cech, players like David Luiz, now Willian. And we are 2 minutes away, or a minute away in fact, from kickoff here at Craven Cottage. Don't forget to put in the live chat any questions about the stream, about the channel, or about the game itself once it kicks off. And make sure to leave a like if you do enjoy the stream. And of course, if you do want to subscribe and leave notifications on so you don't miss any of our streams, which will be coming thick and fast over this Premier League season for you. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on. So as the players shake their hands for a new Premier League season, we can't wait for it, as we're about 30 seconds away. Scott Parker, of course, former Spurs player, is in charge of Fulham. It's his first full Premier League season with the club. Of course, he joined when it was all doom and gloom in the end of the 18-19 season, when it was already pretty much relegation for Fulham. And for Arsenal, of course, their first full season under Mikel Arteta. And a big season for him. Of course, Arsenal, you would imagine, the main target to get back into that top four. A lot of people confident they'll do so. Others still think they're a bit short of those other teams, especially with so much investment from teams like Chelsea. But as I say, we're a few seconds away from kickoff in this new Premier League season, the 2021 campaign. And the Fulham players are just shaking hands with each other, ready to start. And we'll let you know who's kicking off any second. Arsenal wearing their new third kit, the blue and pink strip. Fulham in their new home shirt, which was the last Premier League home shirt to be released, I think just a few days ago. And Willian wearing that number 12, looking fairly concentrated as he's about to start his Arsenal career, as Scott Parker and Mikel Arteta shake hands, ready for the beginning. For Fulham, I'm sure a target for them would just be to stay up after what was the disappointing season in the 18-19 campaign. Of course, they won promotion through the playoffs last time out. And for Arsenal, of course, an FA Cup triumph, which I guess turned that what seemed to be such a poor year into a more of a positive one. As Fulham are about to get us underway But first, of course, all the players take the knee in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement. And they're all up now and we're ready for kick-off in this new Premier League season as Kamara gets us underway for Fulham. It's played out to the left-hand side for Brian, and Fulham pass it around the back as they look to keep the ball in these opening few seconds. Well, it's actually hit long by Hector looking down the right-hand side for Cabano, but it goes straight out for an Arsenal throw down the left, which will be taken by Tierney. And it'll be interesting to see if it's him or Maitland-Niles playing at centre-back. Of course, Arsenal going with a back three. Tierney plays it up long after he gets it back from the throw-in. And then it's flicked on by Lacazette towards Aubameyang, who takes a heavy touch forward. And then it's intercepted by Hector. And then back to the goalkeeper, Radek, who kicks it long for Fulham. And then the new signing, Gabriel, was able to win the header. Arsenal moving around well here in the Fulham half with Willian. Up to Aubameyang, who looks to chip one over towards Maitland-Niles, who made a good run there for Arsenal, but he was just overhit from Aubameyang, and Radek was able to pick it up as we're now a minute into this one. It's played out short from Fulham, and they're brave to do so with an Arsenal high press. As it's played long towards Kamara eventually, but his touch let him down, and Arsenal win it back here with Rob Holding in their own half. If you have any questions about the game, about the stream or about the channel, make sure to put it in the live chat. I will answer as soon as possible for you. As it's Tierney on the ball for Arsenal inside their own half. Back to Maitland-Niles. Oh, and Gabriel's missed it and Kamara could be in. Well, it was a big early chance for Fulham there. A poor back pass from the new signing Gabriel. Kamara intercepted it. It was one-on-one with the keeper. Leno came off his line quickly just to get a hand to the ball to deny Kamara's first touch, but Fulham have it back here down the left. There's a cross into the box towards Kamara, who flicks it on, but in the end it goes wide. And I think there was a push on Gabriel, and Arsenal will get a free kick. But what an early mistake that could have been for Arsenal from new defender Gabriel, who just didn't take control of the pass. He let it run to Leno. Kamara got there first. Brilliant goalkeeping from Leno to get a strong hand there to deny Kamara's touch. And Arsenal get away with one, but what an early chance for Fulham. But now here come Arsenal down the left-hand side with Aubameyang. It was a good tackle from Hector. Now it's Cabano in towards Kamara, who of course was part of that Fulham side for the first half of the season in the 18-19 campaign. A few missed chances, a few poor performances from him led to him being put out on loan, I believe, for the second half of that season. Here is the new signing Gabriel for Arsenal. Kamara putting pressure on him. That's a better pass this time towards El Neni, who's, I'm sure, a bit of surprise to Arsenal fans that he's in the side. And we're just having a first few technical difficulties as our viewing of the game has just gone. We'll be back with you in a second. It's back now, and it's back with Holding on the ball for Arsenal. Here's Tierney. Back towards Gabriel. He's playing in the middle of that back three for Arsenal. Holding again. Gabriel again. Every time Arsenal have seemed to break forward in these opening 3 minutes, it's been through that left-hand side as Xhaka played it long down the left to Aubameyang that time. He couldn't header it to an Arsenal player, and Fulham win it back, and in the end it's played back to their goalkeeper. As we're now just over 4 minutes in, and we are just having a few problems with our viewing of the game, and I'm sure we'll get it all sorted in a second. Sorry about this, but while we are waiting for it to come back, why not put in the live chat your predictions for both these sides, or tell us if you're a Fulham fan or an Arsenal fan, or you support any of the clubs in the Premier League this season. And let us know, because we're just taking a minute here to get our viewing back for you so we can let you know what's going on in the game. And will just be a few more seconds. But for now, if you look at the bottom of your screen, we can show you All the games that are going to be played today, or not played today, of course, the Manchester United and Manchester City games have all been postponed due to their late stint of last season at European football. And of course we have the 3 o'clock game involving Crystal Palace and the evening game Liverpool against Leeds. That's the real headliner game of this opening day of the season. West Ham also play Newcastle, that's at 8 PM. As our stream is back, and it's back with Fulham on the ball here with Hector. He looks for Kamara. Now it's Carbono. Cunning inside, Lacazette putting pressure on him and he's forced to pass it back towards Ream. Hector now for Fulham. And then picked up by Reed. This is Brian. He looks for the 1-2 with Ream. And Fulham just about keeping it inside the Arsenal half. Arsenal trying to win it back with El Neni. He does win it back, El Neni, and then he's fouled by Kamara. Arsenal will get a free kick inside their own half. So far, after about 6 minutes or so, Fulham with the only chance. Completely Arsenal's fault. It was the new signing, Gabriel, who gave it away to Kamara, who was in on goal. Leno came off his line quickly. But for Arsenal, they've had a few little half breaks down the left-hand side, mainly involving who a lot of people would say their star man, Aubameyang. And they've got it down the left-hand side with Tierney, who looks long. It was just over hit for Aubameyang, who still chased it and forced Ruddock to kick it long first time. Here's Ream, who picks it up for Fulham inside their own half. Now Brian. Willian putting the pressure on him, and then he's forced to play it back to the goalkeeper, Ruddock. And then he chips it down the right-hand side for Odoi. Pressured by Maitland-Niles. In towards Reed. And here's Kamara. This is good play from Fulham. Odoi running down the right-hand side. Running towards the penalty area. Ream overlapping. Odoi gets his shot away. Spilt by Leno. But in the end he was able to pick it up. So Fulham with their second chance now of the game. It was a brilliant move. They passed it out the back. All started from the goalkeeper. A brilliant 1-2 between Odoi and Hector. And then another 1-2 between Odoi and Reed. Odoi ran the pitch. Cut back onto his weaker left-hand side. And it was, in the end, quite a tame effort and a comfortable save from Leno. But it hasn't been the strongest starts for Arsenal here. There's, of course, plenty of time to turn it around with only being 7 minutes into the game. And now Arsenal have it with keeper Leno. So we are just one more time trying to get our stream up fully so that we can let you know what's happening. We're just having a few problems. It should be sorted in a few minutes or so. But we are back with Arsenal on the ball with El Neni. And then he looks for a chip ball towards Aubameyang, who's let it run out wide. He's inside the box but right down the left-hand side. He looks to get a ball back into Xhaka, who gets his shot away. It drops for El Neni. And then surely a chance for Willian. And a goal. It was actually Lacazette who was there at the back post for Arsenal. It was a real mess of a chance. A real mess of defending from Fulham. But it's Arsenal who take the lead from Lacazette with their first chance of the game. And our viewing of the game was sort of cutting out as the chance happened. It was a ball from Aubameyang. He was inside the box down the left. He cut it back for Xhaka. His shot was going wide. I think the keeper was able to save it anyway. It fell for El Neni. He couldn't control it. And then bubbled into the path of Lacazette from a yard or so out. And he just had to tap it in past Hector, who was waiting on the line. And Arsenal take the lead. And it's Lacazette who gives not only Arsenal's first goal this season, but the Premier League's first goal this season. I just wonder if there's going to be some sort of VAR check. I don't think there is. I think the referee's just pointed for the goal. It will count. And Arsenal take the lead here at Craven Cottage after about 10 minutes. And we are back underway with Fulham on the ball. We're just going to update the screen for you as Fulham kick it long. And Maitland-Niles picks it up. He gives it away. Here's Caballero for Fulham, who also haven't started badly. They'll be disappointed. They're a goal down. And here's a chance for them with Caballero down the left running forwards. It's been real end-to-end stuff so far. He's got it down the left-hand side, chips the ball in towards the back post. There's a chance for Caballero. And then his volley was blocked and Arsenal passing it away down the left-hand side to Lacazette. He, in the end, can't control it. And we're nearly done with updating the screen for you, as Fulham are currently on the ball inside their own half with just over 10 minutes gone here. Sorry about the lack of commentary. It's just Fulham passing it around the back at the moment. We're just updating the screen for you. That should be with you any second now. So 1-0 Arsenal after 10 minutes. The one good thing I would say about Fulham so far, they're passing it out the back well, especially down that right hand side, and then there's always a 1-2 available between the centre mids and the right winger Cabano, and then they seem to be able to break away that out wide. Arsenal not really picking up the wingers, despite them having Aubameyang and Willian playing out wide along with the wing backs and the back three. But Fulham haven't really been able to make that much of a clear chance so far. But of course, Arsenal only having one chance so far, which was taken by Lacazette. The ball bubbled across the inside the area for a bit before it was a tap-in for Lacazette. And I'm sure, despite it being the opening day, it will be one of the easiest goals he'll score this season. But he won't mind. Arsenal won't mind because they're a goal up. And it's the perfect start to their campaign. And here is El Neni on the ball inside the Arsenal half. Out towards Tierney. Back to Gabriel. Ian picks it up here. Aubameyang's going to try and win the header from his loose ball. Xhaka takes it down. A good touch from Maitland-Niles, and then it's chipped down the left-hand side towards Tierney. Inside the Fulham half. Maybe a chance for Tierney to get a ball in. Instead he plays it further out wide to Aubameyang. He gets a ball in, and then it's away by Hector. Only as far as Xhaka. Still in the Fulham half here, Arsenal. Xhaka again. Now inside the Arsenal half, by the halfway line. Here's Gabriel, who does look comfortable despite his early error, which could have given Fulham the lead. That was after about 2 minutes or so. Here is Xhaka again, who's had a lot of the ball in the last minute or so. He looks forward, but it's intercepted by Ream onto Reed. And then Reed will pick it up by the halfway line. Out down the right towards Josh Onuma, of course the former Spurs player. Now Cabano. And then back towards Odoi. Fulham fairly comfortable to pass it around the back. Something they were doing across the whole Championship season last year under Scott Parker. It's something they want to take into the Premier League. Some teams like Sheffield United have done good on keeping their Championship styles. Others like Norwich City last season didn't. And of course they went down as bottom of the table. But here's Caballero down the right hand side for Fulham, looking to chip one towards Kamara. Gabriel won the header, and then Willian will pick it up here for Arsenal. The new number 12. Now it's Bellerin down the right as he dribbles in towards the Fulham half. He's got no one ahead of him and then plays it back to El Neni. And now Gabriel for Arsenal. We're about 14 minutes into this one. If you've got any questions about the game or about the channel or the stream, we'll answer as soon as possible. And unfortunately we're unable to actually show the game due to copyright. But this channel as a whole will be commentating as many games as possible over this season. Here's Xhaka for Arsenal inside the Fulham half. Into Lacazette. He tried to feed it in towards Willian, who couldn't get his touch right. And Fulham, who tried to pass it away, have ended up giving it away to Aubameyang. In towards Lacazette on the edge of the box. Now Bellerin. Willian down the right hand side. Dribbling in towards the penalty area. And then it comes off Ream. Headed away by Brian. Here's Willian again for Arsenal. As the away side starting to really build the pressure on Fulham. Tierney now down the left hand side. Gabriel in towards El Neni. Down the right is Bellerin in a bit of space. And we're just once again having a few problems with our stream. And we'll be back with the stream in a few minutes, or in a minute or so, if you give us maybe 30 seconds. I'm sure we will be back with you. And we are here with Gabriel. This is El Neni on the right towards Bellerin. Looking for Willian in behind. It's intercepted and then Reed picks it up for Fulham inside their own half. Chip long towards Caballero playing on the left for Fulham. And he wanted to win a throw down the left-hand side. In the end, it's been given to Arsenal inside Fulham's half. But Arsenal will be happy with the start they made. It looked a bit slow. It was passing round the back, certainly before the goal. But since the opener, they haven't really had many chances since then. But they've moved it around a lot quicker, especially inside the Fulham half. And they've got it down the right-hand side here with Bellerin, who looks to swing one in towards Aubameyang. It was just over his head. Comes out to Maitland-Niles inside the area. And then in the end, it was Hector who just read him going down the left-hand side and was able to win it back for Fulham. In the end, he clears it away for a throw down the right. But Fulham, after what was a bright start, seems to have slowly fallen apart here. But one thing I do see, I see the referee holding his hand up to his ear, which makes me think of some type of VAR call. And we'll see what happens there. I will update you on that. I didn't see anything wrong. I think the play is continuing here. And we've almost got our stream back for you. We're trying to get it back if you just give us 30 seconds or so we can get it back for good and we won't have it keeping on cutting out. And that should be good. We are back here in the 17th minute. And it's going to be a throw for Fulham down the right-hand side. I think by the Arsenal area, as Odoi throws it back towards Onuma. Here's Kamara on the edge of the box. Back towards Reed. And then a good ball looking for Caballero. Odoi picks it up instead, gets his ball in the box. In the end, it goes past everyone for an Arsenal throw down the right. Odoi is actually left on the ground. There was a pretty hefty challenge on him down the right after he got the cross in. And that's what Scott Parker's complaining to the fourth official about. A real strong challenge on him from Maitland-Niles. I think by that point the referee was already looking at the ball going towards the box as opposed to the foul on the Fulham right back. But Fulham have it here inside the Arsenal half. Here's Reed. And I'm very sorry about this again. Our stream has cut out. We're trying to get it sorted once and for all. And if you just give us 30 seconds again. We are nearly there, I'm hearing, in terms of getting our stream back for good. But for now, if you want to put in the live chat who you're supporting, who you think's going to win today, or where you think these two sides will finish, make sure to put it in the live chat. As we want to do as many of these streams for you over the season. We want to make it as interactive as possible if you're unable to watch it on TV. But we are back once again with our viewing of the game. And it's with Fulham on the ball with Hector. Now Reed towards Odoi. He's being pressed by Maitland-Niles. And in the end wins a throw down the right-hand side. Still in the Fulham half. As we're approaching the 20-minute mark here. And the throw is taken and in the end it's back to the goalkeeper. And then out towards Brian. Now Ream, back to goalkeeper, again who kicks it long. But only to an Arsenal player, although his touch there, Bellerin, was poor. And then Reed tries to break out with it. He looked down the right-hand side towards Cabano. But it was intercepted well by Tierney and Arsenal have it back. And they look to slow things down. As this is Xhaka. Now Tierney. Tierney again. Gabriel. Now holding for Arsenal. Back towards Gabriel. He plays it down the left towards Maitland-Niles. It was intercepted well by Reed. Back to Hector. Reed again down the right-hand side for Fulham. He's tripped up by Aubameyang, and then Fulham will get a free kick. If you don't want to miss any of our streams across the new season, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. We doubled our subscribers after lockdown last season, and our goal is 100 subscribers at some point this season. So if you want to subscribe with notifications on, we'll try and do as many streams for you over the 2021 campaign. As Fulham have the ball here in their own half. And our stream is cut out for you. I'm very sorry about this. I'm hearing by half time we won't have this at all. There might be a few times before that it might just cut out our viewing of the game. But I think we're back with a Fulham goal kick. As Arsenal did have a chance with Xhaka on the edge of the box. His shot in the end flew over the bar. So 21 minutes in, it will be a Fulham goal kick, which is hit long by the goalkeeper, Radok. Kamara trying to win the header, but Gabriel did win it. And then Reed won the following header for Fulham, but only as far as Holding, who gave it away as far as Josh Onuma. Plays it down the right-hand side here for Fulham, towards Cabano. Adoy's overlapping. Cabano trying to run it down to the goal line. Back towards Adoy. Now Reed. Here's Kearney. And then he's tripped up by an Arsenal man, and Fulham will get a free kick. And it's inside the Arsenal half, a very central position. It's a chance to get the ball into the box. And it's going to be the left-back Brian to take as he whips it in towards the back post, headed away by Arsenal, came out towards Ream, who had a smash at it. And I think in the end, the offside flag was up against Hector, and Arsenal will get a free kick and a chance to slow things down again. And Fulham, who did make a bright start, they had the first two chances of the game, a shot from Adoy, a big chance for Kamara, which he couldn't take from a Gabriel mistake. But Arsenal have improved and kept on improving since their opening goal from Lacazette, which was their first chance of the game. It was a tap-in from about 2 yards or so. And Arsenal, who did have the ball, have just given it away because it was switched across the pitch. But overhit for a Fulham throw by the halfway line to be taken by Adoy and thrown down the line towards Josh Onuma. He's tackled by Xhaka. Onuma trying to win it back, but in the end, just too aggressive. And he trips up Xhaka. Arsenal will get a free kick. At the bottom of your screen, you can see all the games that will be coming up later today. And that's including the Burnley Man United game and also the Manchester City game. They are not getting played due to those two sides playing late in Europe last campaign. Here's Leno for Arsenal. Out towards Gabriel. And then he smashes it in towards Tierney, who's got no chance of controlling that, and it's going to be a Fulham throw down the right. That's the second time there's been a bit of a mistake on the ball from Gabriel. This one a lot less costly than what could have been the first one, which led to a Kamara chance. Here's Radok for Fulham, the goalkeeper looking to kick it long. Arsenal win the header with Xhaka on towards Willian. But then his control was with his arm, and Fulham will get a free kick inside their own half. So 25 minutes into this one, there's not been too much going on, not many chances, especially in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But Fulham are certainly in this. They're certainly able to have spells of possession, more importantly, in the Arsenal half. But haven't been able to create too much. They've got the ball here, Fulham, as they look long down the line towards Kamara, down the left-hand side. Tries to take on Gabriel, who won a tackle, but Kamara was able to win it back. They're still tussling, the two of them. In the end, Gabriel wins the duel, and it's out towards El Neni. Here's Holding. Gabriel. Bellerin. El Neni. Well worked by Arsenal to play it out the back, and now they've found Xhaka in a bit of room. Still in their own half, Arsenal. As Xhaka plays it out towards Bellerin down the right-hand side. He's running through the middle of the pitch. Looks for Lacazette. It was a good first touch from Lacazette, and then he was tripped up by Hector. And it's going to be a free kick here for Arsenal, right on the edge of the box. And it could be a very good chance for the Gunners to double their lead. It's right on the edge of the D, central position. That's a good touch from Lacazette after it was played into him by Bellerin. He took it towards the right-hand side. Hector, in the end, stamped on his trailing boot. A big chance for Arsenal now, 26 minutes in from the free kick. As Fulham want to improve on what was their opening day defeat here at Craven Cottage in the 18-19 season. It was a 2-0 defeat to Crystal Palace. They could be going 2-0 down here because it's going to be a real chance for Arsenal. And of course they've got Willian, a free kick expert now on their team. A chance for a debut goal perhaps. And it does look like it might be Willian to take it, as he's the one who puts the ball down for Arsenal. It's a big wall of not only Fulham players but Arsenal players as well, who I'm sure will jump out the way as soon as possible. And it is just Willian lining up to shoot. Brilliant chance here, edge of the D from a central position, perfect for a right footer in Willian. And all we're waiting is for the referee's whistle. So Willian, whose last goal was a free kick for Chelsea against West Ham, although this one is saved and then cleared away by Fulham as far as Tierney. And then his pass, which he just kicks it out for a throw to Fulham down the right-hand side. A bit of a waste from a free kick. It was a comfortable save from Rodak. Who, as Willian in the end went keeper's side. But it stays at 1-0, and Fulham, who haven't been too bad, are still in this game, because that could have been costly if they were to go 2 down. But Fulham do have a free kick here inside their own half. And I do want to apologise again just for our viewing of the match. It just keeps on cutting out, which is why it's not quite a smooth commentary. It will be sorted at half-time, which is about 15 minutes away. But for now, Fulham have the ball with Hector inside their own half. Being pressed by Lacazette and Aubameyang, now Odoi. And here's Josh Onuma, who's got a bit of room inside the Arsenal half down the middle. Plays it towards Kearney. Down the left-hand side towards Brian. And then he's forced to play it back towards Kearney again, and then all the way back to Hector, who despite being a centre-back is in that Arsenal half. He plays it back to Cabano. And then it was Maitland-Niles who was able to tackle him and tackled it straight back onto Cabano. And in the end it will go out for an Arsenal throw down the left. And as on our screen we see a building site of Craven Cottage. Of course their stand on the side of the River Thames still being constructed. Of course they've got a lot more time to do it now with no crowds being in the stadium. And it doesn't look like they're going to be in the stadium by October, which was the initial plan to get fans back. Here is holding for Arsenal. Now El Neni, chip towards Bellerin down the right hand side. Now Xhaka. Willian. Trying to run away from Onuma. Tierney. Looking down the line towards Aubameyang. He picks it up down the left hand side, being pressured by Hector, who in the end with help from Cabano wins it back for Fulham. And it breaks here for Josh Onuma. In towards Kamara inside the Arsenal half. He's running forward, trying to take on Gabriel. Back towards Onuma. Not many options for Fulham. They have to go backwards now. All the way back to Ream. Here's Kearney. Cutting inside. He's down the left. But in the end he's forced to play it back to Ream again. Here's Caballero, the former Wolves player. On his second season at Fulham. Kamara. Here's Hector. As we approach the half an hour mark, here's Odoi. Cabano. Odoi. Hector. And then all the way back to Ream again for Fulham. It's a good spell of possession, but they're not really causing Arsenal any trouble. Although here is Caballero trying to take on Willian down the left-hand side by the goal line. Cuts back onto his right foot. And in the end, plays it back all the way back to Ream again. And now Hector again for Fulham. Reed, Hector. Arsenal being pinned all the way back here. Adoy down the right. Cabano back towards Adoy. He's got a chance to get a ball into the box as he flashes it across the face of goal. Although in the end, it was Kamara coming in the back post. There was a shove, I believe, on Gabriel, and Arsenal will get a free kick inside their own penalty area. But it's better from Fulham. It was a long build-up before a good little 1-2 between Adoy and Cabano. Adoy then got his ball into the box. But then all that before a foul from Kamara on new Arsenal signing Gabriel. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like. And if you don't want to miss any of our streams across this season, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. Here's a chance for Arsenal with Bellerin running in field. His pass was intercepted straight back to Bellerin again. Lacazette on the edge of the box for Arsenal. Chips it out down the right well towards Willian. He's taking his time inside the Fulham box. In the end cuts back, trying to get a ball in with his left foot. In the end Cavallero's there to help out and clear it away as far as Xhaka. And then he heads it back towards Gabriel. Xhaka again inside the Arsenal half. Gabriel. Good ball in towards Bellerin. And a good little bit of footwork from Bellerin to get away from Kearney. Then he passes it towards Xhaka. Aubameyang. Arsenal inside the Fulham half. With El Neni now. And now Rob Holding. This here is Bellerin. In towards El Neni. Xhaka. Maitland-Niles down the left. They're moving it quickly between left to right, but they're struggling to get it much further forward here, Arsenal. As it's El Neni on the ball for Arsenal again, and it's back down the right-hand side again with Willian. Who's got Brian there to keep the pressure on him, so he's forced to play it back again, and now it's all the way back with Gabriel. Maitland-Niles looks for Lacazette in behind. It's a brilliant ball to Lacazette, but he just couldn't quite get there. And in the end, it does run out for a goal kick, but it was a brilliant attempted pass from Maitland-Niles through the Fulham midfield and defence inside the area for Lacazette. It would have been a brilliant shooting chance if he could have just about got to it, the Arsenal man. But in the end, it goes out for a goal kick. But both teams, it's slow build-up from them. They're both happy to keep the ball for as long as possible. And it's no surprise that the opening goal, which was scored by Lacazette in about the 9th minute, was such a scruffy one. Because there hasn't been many chances so far for either side. Arsenal have the ball here again inside their own half with Gabriel. Here's Aubameyang. Oh, and he's played Lacazette in behind. And I wonder if the flag's going to go up here. It hasn't. Lacazette cuts it back towards Willian. And then in the end it's cleared away by Adoy. So our viewing of the game was just cutting out as that chance took place. It was a good move from Arsenal again, and if it was to be a goal, I think Lacazette was offside anyway. As we're about 34 minutes in to the opening game of the Premier League season. And while the ball is out of play, we're just going to stop our viewing of the game, and we're going to try and get up something a bit more reliable so it doesn't keep on cutting out. We should be good in about 10 seconds or so. As Arsenal have the ball inside the Fulham half with Willian. Now El Neni. Xhaka. And unfortunately it's just cut out again. We are trying to get this all sorted for you. I can say it will be sorted in the second half. But thank you all for sticking with us. We'll make sure this doesn't happen in any of our streams later on this season. But for now, if you want to put in the live chat, who you support, who you want to win, and where you think these two sides are going to finish. Also, if you've got any questions about the channel or about the game, make sure to put it in the live chat and we'll respond as soon as we see it. We're almost there in terms of getting our viewing back of the game. And we're about 35 minutes into it, I believe. Give us about 20 seconds or so. There we go, we're back now. And it's with Arsenal on the ball, with El Neni inside their own half. Back towards Tierney. Kick long towards Lacazette. His touch let him down, and then Fulham will pick it up with Odoi. This is Kearney, Reed, Hector. And then his long ball forward, which is only as far as El Neni. His touch wasn't the best, and Cabano was able to win it back for Fulham. And now they've got it down the left here with Brian. Now Ream to Reed. He looks down the right hand side for Odoi. They've just broken into the Arsenal half now here, Fulham. Odoi back towards Reed again. Here's Josh Onuma in towards Kamara. And then Onuma wins it back from Aubameyang, who won it back from Kamara. Here's Odoi down the right. Maybe a chance to get the ball in. He does get it in. But Xhaka interception controls it as well inside the penalty area. And then he tried to dribble and pass it out. But his pass was poor. Maitland-Niles wasn't quite on the same wavelength. And in the end it goes out for a Fulham throw down the right, which is taken quickly. And here is Reed, still inside the Arsenal half, now back down the right with Odoi. He's trying to dribble it infield, but he can't really go anywhere, and he's forced to play it back towards Hector again. Here's Kearney. Now Ream. Odoi. Trying to find Onuma, who couldn't quite control it, but Odoi was tripped up after his pass, and Fulham will get a free kick down the right, and it's actually going to be the first yellow card of the game. Referee Paul Tierney giving it for a foul on Odoi down the right hand side, and it's for Aubameyang. He just stepped on Odoi there late after the challenge. So we're approaching the 40-minute mark here in this one. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal took the lead after 10 minutes. It was a scrappy goal from Lacazette in the end, after the ball bobbled round in the penalty area for a while. Arsenal had a good chance from a free kick, which they couldn't take. All of this after Fulham had two chances in the opening 10 minutes. One with Kamara, as he looked to try and dribble it around Leno, but Leno got a strong hand out. That was after a Gabriel mistake, which allowed Kamara in on goal. They also had a shot with Odoi early on, which was saved by Leno. But apart from that, not much for Fulham, not even too much for Arsenal, who do have the ball here with Gabriel. Tierney. Back to Gabriel again. He lets it run for Leno. Now holding. Out towards Bellerin, and the Fulham press hasn't worked. They tried to get a lot of numbers forward, but Arsenal are going to break out here with Willian. Chips it down the left-hand side very well towards Maitland-Niles. He gets his ball in towards the back post, and it was just past Lacazette. And then Bellerin can't keep it in play, and it's going to go out for a Fulham throw down the left-hand side right by the corner flag. That was a good move from Arsenal, a good ball from Willian to switch the play to Maitland-Niles, who was in space. It wasn't a bad ball from Maitland-Niles to Lacazette coming in at the back post, but it was just in front of him, and Lacazette couldn't quite get there on the end of it. Also, Ream was putting him off well as he tried to stretch for the header, couldn't win it either, and that sort of blocked Lacazette's vision as well. But Arsenal have it here with Tierney trying to dribble it forwards. He's tackled by Cabona. And this is Josh Onuma. Now Odoi. Arsenal pressing, which is forcing Fulham to pass it around quickly. Although Fulham have kept it well here with Ream. Now down the left-hand side for Brian. Cavallero. Kearney. Brian again. Ream again. Arsenal pressing again. And in the end it's played back to Radok, who kicks it long down the right-hand side. Cabano tried to win the header, and he couldn't, and in the end it goes out for an Arsenal throw down the left by the halfway line. Here's holding for Arsenal. About 3 minutes of this first half to go, 3 or 4 minutes, of course, plus stoppage time, which there shouldn't be too much of. The one good thing is there haven't been any VAR controversy in this opening 45 minutes. Here's Elneny for Arsenal by the halfway line. Into Lacazette. And then a poor pass from Lacazette. It went straight out of play for a Fulham throw by the halfway line. And it's going to be taken by Brian. Here's Kearney. And then all the way back to Hector for Fulham. Playing in centre-back. Down the right towards Adoy, who's probably been the best player for Fulham so far. Now Cabano. Into Reed. Former Brentford player. Ream. Out towards Kearney. Now Brian. Here's Kearney. Now Brian, who looks to get a ball in towards the box looking for Kamara. The header was won by Gabriel. And then Elneny will pick it up on the edge of the box. And a good touch to get away from Onuma. Although a poor pass in the end and Fulham have it back. With Josh Onuma. Now Kearney. Josh Onuma. Reed. Inside the Arsenal half here, Fulham. Down the right hand side for Adoy. And then he looked to try and find Cabano. Overlapping, a good block from Maitland-Niles. And a throw in now for Fulham down the right hand side. Just throwing back to Reed. He's had a lot of the ball for Fulham so far. So is this man Hector, who looks to play it long for Onuma. His touch wasn't the best and Xhaka intercepts and plays it long to Lacazette, who couldn't get there. And in the end, Ream headers it back to the goalkeeper, Radok. Here's Kearney for Fulham, as they're playing it out from the back again. Cavallero. Down the left-hand side for Brian. Trying to dribble it down the left, looking for Kamara. It was well overhit for Kamara. He can't control it and in the end runs all the way back towards Leno. And he's waiting for the pressure from Kamara before he'll finally play it out towards Holding. Elneny, as Arsenal are looking just to see through this half with a 1-0 lead. Haven't been at their best at all, Arsenal. But Fulham haven't caused them much problems either, and they don't want to let this 1-0 lead slip right before the end of the half. As they're passing it around here with now Gabriel. Tierney. Just over a minute left of this first half plus stoppage time. Now Holding. Gabriel. Gabriel again. Tierney. Looking over the top towards Aubameyang, who takes it down. He's tackled by Hector. And he'll go up for an Arsenal throw down the left. And this last minute or so really summing up the whole game. Not many chances. Both teams happy to keep the ball, pass it around. Especially Arsenal now at the end of the half. As they're taking their time with this throw, which is going to be taken by Tierney. About 30 seconds left of normal time in this first half. Here is Tierney. Back to Maitland-Niles and then all the way back to Rob Holding. He looks to chip one out wide towards Willian. It was intercepted by Brian. Onuma trying to pick it up, so too Kamara. And here is Onuma, who gets inside the Arsenal half now. Plays it down the right-hand side for Cabano. Adoy overlapping here. Cabano just took too long on the ball. He's still got it though down the right-hand side by the goal line. And in the end, Tierney won it back. It looked fairly, and it looked like a bit of a dive from Cabano, but the referee sees it another way. And gives Fulham a free kick right by the goal line, a chance to get the ball into the box. And with 1 minute just being added on, it will be one last chance for Fulham at the end of this first half. And it wasn't a foul, that's for sure. It was a big dive from Cabano. And Arsenal won't be happy if they end up conceding from this. Hasn't been one corner so far in this first half, but this is as close as you're going to get to it. It is right by the corner flag. And it's going to be an outswinger from, I believe, Cabano. Kearney's come short to pick it up. Cabano gets it inside the area and it's headed away by Gabriel. And then all the way out towards Ream. And he's going to look to get the ball back in. No, he isn't. He's played it out to Cavallero. This is the last chance for Fulham down the right-hand side. And in the end, he looked to pass it backwards and he couldn't even do that successfully. Although in the end, actually, his pass came off Xhaka for a corner, and the first of the Premier League season. Down the left-hand side for Fulham. The 1 minute of added time is up. It was up before the corner was won. But this is it now for the first half. We are 30 seconds over what was added on at the end of the first half here. It's going to be an outswinger from the left-hand side. In it goes. And in the end, a poor corner headed away. Comes out to Reed, who will hit one over the bar. And there goes the half-time whistle. And it hasn't been the most entertaining of halves, that's for sure. But at least we've had a goal, and that was after 9 minutes by Lacazette. The ball bubbled around the area, and in the end it fell for Lacazette from about 2 yards out. And he was able to tap it in. Willian had a chance from the free kick, which he couldn't take. Kamara, all before this, had a chance to take it around Leno after a poor ball from new signing Gabriel. But apart from that, it's been a lot of possession-based in this first half. And hasn't been the most entertaining. We hope for more in the second half. But for now, at Craven Cottage, it's Fulham 0, Arsenal 1 at half-time. And we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to Match Centre Live. Thank you all for sticking with us throughout the half-time interval as we are about to start this second half in a minute or so. Arsenal a goal up thanks to Lacazette's effort in the 9th minute of the game. It was a tap-in from 2 yards after the ball was bobbling around in the penalty area for a while. I think it came off El Neni, it came off the goalkeeper. But in the end, finished by Lacazette. There's been a few other chances, not many in this game. It's been quite a slow and dull first half with both teams wanting to keep possession. But Kamara had an early chance even before Lacazette gave Arsenal the lead. A chance to take it past Leno after a mistake from Gabriel. But Leno got a good hand out to stop that. And as I'm speaking, Arsenal are coming back out onto the pitch for the second half. And Arsenal had a free kick which they ended up hitting the post from Willian. Would have been a perfect debut goal for him. That could have been 2-0. But apart from that, hasn't been much in this game. Which is why we hope for a much better second half, which will kick off in about a minute's time. In that first half, we gained 5 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who did subscribe. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get towards 100 subscribers as soon as possible on the channel, as our aim is to make a more social and more interactive way of being involved with football if you're unable to watch it on TV. By the live chat, which is why if we ask you if you've got any questions about the game, about the stream or about the channel, to put it in the live chat, or just let us know who you support, where you think these teams are going to finish. Put in any statements you want into the live chat throughout the second half. And if you don't want to miss any of our streams over the 2021 season, then make sure to subscribe with notifications on, as you'll never know when it's your team coming up next on our channel. As we're almost ready for the second half to get underway here at Craven Cottage. Lacazette with not only the opening goal for Arsenal this season, but the opening Premier League goal of the season. He also scored the opening Premier League goal 3 years ago in the 17-18 season when Arsenal beat Leicester on the opening day. That was on a Friday night. But now they look to build on a 1-0 lead in the second half here. As it is Lacazette who will get us underway any second now. Here we go for the second half as Lacazette plays it to Rob Holding. He looks long down the left-hand side, but he's overhit it. And it will go out for a Fulham goal kick. But already a bit more of an attacking intent maybe from Arsenal by kicking it long, as opposed to passing it around the back for 45 minutes. Fulham have been the same, to be honest, whenever they've got the ball. But hopefully as the second half continues, the game will open up more and more. And hopefully we'll see a few more goals. So it's right up to take the goal kick and play it short, which is what Fulham have done in the first half. Although in the end it's played long by Ream towards Cavallero, who in the end ran it out of play for an Arsenal throw down the right. Just by the halfway line. And it's thrown out towards Rob Holding. Here is Gabriel for Arsenal. Tierney. Fulham trying to press Tierney here, although he's quite easily played it out to Maitland-Niles. He's forced to cut it back onto his right foot. Of course, playing down that left-hand side, being a right footer, especially as a defender, is never easy. Holding to Gabriel. Now El Neni. There's a lot of players forward for Fulham inside the Arsenal half, but none of them seem to really be pressing at Arsenal. Tierney out towards Gabriel. A minute into this second half, and so far it seems like it's going to be the same as in the first half. Arsenal passing it around, Fulham passing it around whenever they get it, and not much attacking intent from both sides. Although there's a good ball finally out from the back three towards Aubameyang. He'll drive at Hector, he beats Hector, and now he's running towards the penalty area, trying to cross it and cut it back towards Lacazette. Ream intercepted, and in the end clears for an Arsenal throw down the left-hand side. A very good run from Aubameyang. Hector dived in towards him. Made it easy for Aubameyang, especially with his pace, just to take a touch past him. But he thought from there he could really race ahead and get a shooting chance on his left foot. In the end, cut it back towards Lacazette on his left foot. And it was Ream who did well for Fulham. But Arsenal are going to take a throw, and it might be one of those long throws into the box by the looks of it from Tierney. As we're 2 minutes into this second half at Craven Cottage on the return of the Premier League's, this time the 2021 season. There goes the ball into the box. Header won by Hector. Came out towards Maitland-Niles on the edge of the box. Now Bellerin. Here's Willian down the right. Takes it around Brian, who in the end recovered well. And in the end, Willian actually ran it out of play, and it will be a Fulham throw down the left. It was good defending from Brian. He let Willian know he was there, and Willian certainly knew he was there, and in the end looked to panic the Brazilian, of course on his debut, and ran out of play for a Fulham throw down the left. So we're about 3 minutes into this second half. Score 1-0 to Arsenal from Lacazette's early effort. There goes the throw, which Onuma tried to flick it on. It's Holding who picks it up. He's done brilliantly, Holding. Plays it towards Lacazette down by the goal line down the right-hand side, and then it deflects behind off a Fulham man from a corner. And the first Arsenal corner of the game, and of course of the season. Fulham had one in the first half. But now an Arsenal one down the right-hand side as Lacazette's cutback was deflected off of Ream. And maybe a chance for a second goal for Arsenal. Their first of the game. It's Willian who's gone out to take it, meaning it's going to be an outswinger. And it goes from the Arsenal man, and it's headed goalwards, and it's headed in, and it's Aubameyang. So one for each striker as Arsenal double their lead here. It was a brilliant ball in from Willian from the corner. There were so many Arsenal players sort of around the goalkeeper, and it was Aubameyang who got his head to it. Or I might be wrong actually, it might be new signing Gabriel. I'll let you know on that one. But Willian's ball in, it didn't go very far. It went right by, sort of fairly near the goalkeeper. And I'm just going to see here who it was. If it was Aubameyang. No, it was Gabriel. And he headed it through the legs of the goalkeeper, Rodak. And a debut goal for him. And a debut assist for Willian from the corner. And after 49 minutes, it's 2-0 Arsenal. And it's not the start to the half that Fulham wanted. It's actually really going to be a long way back for them now. And we are back underway, meaning there will be no VAR check just like on the first one. And it's 2-0 Arsenal here. As we're just going to update the screen for you. And it will be back in a second. But Fulham, in the meantime, have the ball inside their own half. And Arsenal have won it back here with Gabriel, the goal scorer. And now a long ball down the left towards Aubameyang. He won't reach it. And as the ball goes out of play, there's your screen back. And as you can see on the bottom of the screen, there's the games, or the rest of the games that were meant to be played this Saturday. Of course, Man United and Man City's game have both been postponed due to them playing European football, late on last season. If you've got any questions about the stream, or about the channel, or about the match and what's going on, make sure to put it in the live chat. Here's Holding for Arsenal, trying to switch it out the left-hand side, but both Aubameyang and Tierney, who were there, were unable to control it. And Fulham will get a throw down the right-hand side. But they're going to need a big bit of magic to get them back in this game. And it's always disappointing to concede on a set piece. And it's something they're going to need to cut out in this Premier League season if they're going to want to survive, which they were unable to in the 18-19 season. Here is Brian. Good ball out towards Cavallero. He switches it out the right-hand side towards Cabano. Now Josh Onuma. Back towards Adoy down the right-hand side for Fulham. And then his pass to Cabano, who was clearly offside on the overlap. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal down the left. But one thing I would say from Fulham, they've got it into good wide positions a lot. And I think Kamara is there into the box, but they're reluctant to play it into the box. They just want to keep the ball for as long as possible. And it must be frustrating for Scott Parker, watching on, especially as a former Spurs player. Here's Kearney who picks it up for Fulham. Now Odoi cuts back after the pressure from Aubameyang. Kearney again, Reed, and then back to Hector. This is Ream for Fulham. Hector again. Odoi. And then he's given it away to Tierney, and then Aubameyang plays it back to Maitland-Niles. Now holding for Arsenal. And they'll be happy to have the ball back, and I'm sure now they'll be even slower in possession than they have been now they've got a 2-0 lead to hold on to. Lacazette trying to flick it on towards Xhaka. It was intercepted by Kearney. Good ball in towards Josh Onuma. And then back to Reed. And this is Brian down the left for Fulham. Out towards Cavallero. Reed for Fulham. Switches it out towards Kearney. Cuts back onto his left foot here. Not many options forward, so he's played it back to Reed, and now down the left-hand side for Brian. Again, Kamara's there in the middle, but there's just no emphasis on Fulham wanting to attack and wanting to get a ball in, because they haven't had many chances in this game when they've had a fair bit of possession like what they've got now. And again, down the left with Kearney. And then back to Brian. And then in towards Onuma, who tried to flick it back to Kearney, but El Neni was there to intercept, and it breaks for Willian, who looks to sprint down the right-hand side for Arsenal. And then Kamara, who was coming back to try and help defend, he ended up tripping Willian up. Arsenal get a free kick down the right. But Fulham, especially now they're 2-0 down, they need to have some sort of attacking intent when they've got the ball, especially when they've got the ball in good positions. It's not like it's always passing it around with their midfield. It's gone out to the wingers a lot, to the fullbacks who have pressed high. There's no ball into the box, and they've got Kamara, who's a big physical striker, but they're not using him at all. But Fulham do have it back now here with keeper Rodak, and he passes it out towards Reed. 10 minutes into the second half now here at Craven Cottage. Ream for Fulham. Out towards Brian, down the left. Down the line is Caballero, who looks to take on Gabriel. Still Cavallero by the goal line, cuts back. Turns back again towards the goal line. This is Josh Onuma trying to do a 1-2 with Reed, and then he was completely clattered into by Hector Bellerin, and it's going to be a free kick here to Fulham. Hector Bellerin's going to get booked, but the referee, as he went to book Bellerin, actually dropped his yellow card onto the floor. But it was more like a rugby tackle from Bellerin. It's the edge of the box, it's out wide. And a chance for Fulham to get the ball into the box, and I'm sure this time they will try and get a ball into the box as opposed to passing it backwards again. So 55 minutes in, Hector Bellerin, the second Arsenal player, on a yellow, as Aubameyang got a yellow card in the first half. And I believe it's Cavallero who might have gone out there to take it. No, it's Kearney. Cavallero is in fact there as well, either an in-swinger or an out-swinger. Looks like it is going to be Kearney to take, and in it goes, headed away by Gabriel towards the edge of the box here. And then a strike from Kamara across goal, and it goes all the way wide. But it's better from Fulham, even though it ended up from a set piece, but it's an attempt on target. They want to attack. They need to get more shots away. It's their first of the second half, that, and a strike wide from Kamara, and Leno actually had it covered the whole time, as he was happy to dive and let the ball go out for now an Arsenal goal kick. As Kamara looks to improve on what was really a poor 18-19 campaign in the Premier League for him. Here's Xhaka for Arsenal inside their own penalty area as Arsenal play it out from the back again. Both teams have been doing this all game so far. Gabriel, Leno, Xhaka. They're pressing now Fulham, although Arsenal have done well and they've got it out to Willian. Here's Lacazette by the halfway line now. He's taken out by Hector, but Willian picks it up and Arsenal play advantage. Brilliant ball down the left-hand side to Aubameyang. There's options in the middle. Aubameyang in the area, takes a shot, and it's a brilliant finish into the top corner, and it's 3-0 Arsenal. And surely now that will be the end of the game. One for each striker, one for the debut centre-back, 2 assists for Willian, and this day keeps on getting better and better for Arsenal, and it's getting worse and worse for Fulham now. Brilliant counter-attack from the Gunners. It started off down the right-hand side. Lacazette involved. He was fouled. Willian took over down the right. Switched out to Aubameyang, who was driving and driving at the Fulham defence before a brilliant curled finish into the top corner across goal. No chance for keeper Rodak. And it's 3-0 Arsenal. And it's surely, even in the 57th minute, 3 points for Arsenal away from home on the opening day of the Premier League season. And Fulham are falling apart here. After their first shot on goal in the second half, Arsenal have had 2 and Arsenal have scored 2. And it's a long, long way back for the home side now, as we are back underway at 3-0. And we're just going to get the screen updated for you as quickly as we can, as Fulham have possession inside their own half again. And we're nearly there in terms of updating the screen, although Arsenal have won it back again, and it's Bellerin. He tries to get a ball in, and then it's deflected out for an Arsenal throw down the right. And the screen will be updated for you any second. But Arsenal might have another attack here, and Fulham, well, there's very little to answer for them. They're starting to struggle. Arsenal really starting to put on their A game. And they've got the ball here with Gabriel. And then he plays it all the way back to Leno. But Arsenal won't mind that, being 3-0 up now. And there is the screen back for you. Here's Tierney. Maitland-Niles playing down the left-hand side for Arsenal. And here he is again. Now holding. Hector Bellerin. And then all the way back to holding again. And Arsenal keeping the ball, and they're happy to be keeping the ball. And if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to subscribe, that would be much appreciated from us here at Match Centre Live, with notifications off so you never miss a stream. You never know when it could be your team on the channel, as Arsenal still have possession. If you have any questions about the game, about the stream, about the channel, or if you just want to let us know who you support, who you think is going to win, and any predictions for the season, make sure to put it in the live chat, and I'm sure others will respond, and we'll respond as soon as we see them. But one prediction I can make is I think Arsenal are going to be getting 3 points here. And every time they get the ball, they look to get it forward now. Although it is Fulham who have won it back this time. And there's a long ball towards Kamara, who's trying to battle away, but there was 3 Arsenal players on him. And Arsenal win it back, and then it's back to Leno. And there goes the hour mark in this game. Xhaka. Holding. Gabriel. Here's Maitland-Niles, as he looks to have dropped into the centre-back role, with Tierney going out down the left-hand side. Here's Rob Holding. Elneny. Xhaka. Maitland-Niles looking for Aubameyang. It was just behind him, and Hector was able to pick it up for Fulham. Here's Ream. Out towards Caballero. They've given it away though, Fulham, and it's Willian with a chance to drive, and then he's taken out by Kearney. And it's going to be a free kick for Arsenal, and I'm sure that will be a yellow card for the Fulham man. The first yellow card for Fulham this afternoon, as he took out Willian, but it's getting poor from Fulham. They're giving the ball away, and they're not even taking any risks by doing so. In the end, Kearney had no choice but to take out Willian, and Arsenal will get a free kick and maybe a chance to get the ball in the box, or they might just want to keep possession. Willian had a free kick and a shooting position in the first half, which he hit the post from. But he's played brilliantly for Arsenal on his debut with 2 assists. Well, and if he is to score from a free kick this far out, that will just be the cherry on top, even with half an hour still to go in this one. But Xhaka puts the ball down. It is from quite far out, but you never know, he might take a shot. It's 3-0, there's nothing really to lose for Arsenal. And it is going to be Xhaka to shoot, but it's gone straight into the wall, but only straight back out to Xhaka again, and then he plays it back to Tierney. Here's Maitland-Niles. Aubameyang. Back towards Tierney. Chipped out down the right hand side, but given away as far as Cavallero. Here's Ream, who kicks it long. No one's there at all for Fulham, and it goes straight out of play for an Arsenal throw down the right hand side. There's going to be a substitution, I think, for Fulham. Or maybe two substitutions. Mitrovic is one of them coming on. And that's for Kamara. And we'll let you know who the other is. But Kamara, when he's had a couple of chances for Fulham, he's unable to get a goal. It's Anguissa who comes on for Fulham to replace Cabano. That's the other substitution for the home side, and they need to change things because they're 3-0 down and they really are struggling. Not just with the clear result, but the performance is getting worse and worse. But Mitrovic brings a new energy, a die-hard sort of energy to this Fulham side, which they certainly need at 3-0 down, because the team certainly look dead and buried. And Arsenal have the ball with El Neni. Down the right for Bellerin, looking for Willian overlapping down the right. And then he gets his ball in towards the edge of the box. Odoi was able to pick it up though for Fulham. He's given it straight away again though to Willian. And then he plays it back towards El Neni. Xhaka. El Neni again. Here's Gabriel. Of course, along with the two goal scorers from the strikers. And there's a ball in from, I believe, Maitland-Niles. It was too close to the goalkeeper, Rodek, who picks it up. There's certainly a lot to learn from Fulham today. Especially with a lot to learn for the rest of this game for Fulham, let alone the rest of the season. They have tried to pass it around the back, which is what they're doing here from the goalkeeper. But it hasn't really worked for them today. They've hardly been able to create a chance from playing it out the back. And all they're starting to do now is give the ball away. Although they have got it in the Arsenal half this time with Kearney. And here he is being pressured by Lacazette. Gets it down the right hand side for Anguissa. In the end it goes out for a Fulham throw down the right. It was Maitland-Niles who put a tackle in. If you've got any questions about the stream or about the match, make sure to put it in the live chat. And leave a like if you are enjoying the stream, that would be much appreciated. And if you could subscribe, that would be absolutely incredible. Here's Fulham on the ball down the left with Brian. Trying to play it in towards Mitrovic, who's holding off Holding. Rather ironic that. Tierney, the referee, plays on as it's chipped down the left towards Brian again. This is Anguissa. Looks like Cavallero's gone to that right hand side with Anguissa coming to the left. Here's Hector. Now Ream, who switches out to the right for Odoi. Cavallero facing away from goal now and being forced to dribble back, although he's done well here. Well, no, he's overdone it, Caballero, and Lacazette in the end wasn't quite able to win it back for Arsenal. Fulham still have it down the right, as Odoi's pass was intercepted by Tierney and out for a Fulham throw. 65 minutes in here, 3-0 Arsenal. 2 goals in quick succession, really, which has taken the game away from Fulham in this second half. Here's Anguissa, who's driving here. Does a 1-2 with Onuma. Brilliant interception by Tierney, and it breaks for Aubameyang. His pass was a bit behind Willian. Fulham win it back with Kearney. Now Anguissa. Kearney again, and then all the way back towards Reed. And then his ball out down the right hand side for Kearney. Now Cavallero, further out wide. Gets the ball in towards the back post. It's gone over everyone. And Willian comes back to intercept, but Fulham have got it back again with Anguissa. Now Mitrovic, who tries to back off Bellerin and then got a shot away. It was a rather tame effort and it was straight into the hands of Leno, but it's better from Fulham. Mitrovic holding off the defender, using his strength to get away, shifted onto his stronger right foot, but it was just a poor effort in the end. But he certainly made maybe a bit of a difference since coming on for Kamara just a few moments ago. This is Willian. Now Holding. Bellerin. Arsenal have the ball for the first time in a little while. With El Neni. Brilliant ball out towards Lacazette, although Ream is just about going to get there first and he plays it back to the goalkeeper Rodek. And then down the right hand side is Odoi for Fulham. Cuts back, plays it towards Kearney, being pressured by Xhaka, so then it goes all the way back to Ruddock. Out towards Hector. Odoi, being pinned in their own half now, Fulham. Although here's Caballero, trying to run away from Maitland-Niles, in the end, a bit too aggressive for Maitland-Niles, and Fulham will get a free kick, which they play out short again, and they're still happy to play out the back here, Fulham. Here's Reed. Inside the centre circle, back towards Odoi. Now Anguissa, poor first touch. Lacazette tried to win it back. Anguissa just about recovered in the end. Brian, Reed. Mitrovic joining in with the play. Anguissa out towards Kearney, who looks to have moved further forward into a cam sort of position. And I think it's Onuma who might have moved down the left. Or is it Onuma in the centre? I'm not too sure. But here is Josh Onuma. And he's been dispossessed by Lacazette, who just wouldn't give up on the pressure. And then Lacazette is fouled by Josh Onuma, who was a bit angry he didn't get a free kick. But in the end, it was good pressure from Lacazette. And here's Willian for Arsenal. They've just moved it into the Fulham half down the right. Now Hector Bellerin. Elneny towards Gabriel. And if there are any Arsenal fans watching, what do you reckon of Elneny being in the starting lineup for this season? Is he part of Arteta's future plans? Here is Elneny driving towards the penalty area. Cuts back and plays it to Willian down the right. This is Hector Bellerin. Out towards Xhaka. Now Tierney. Aubameyang. Hector Bellerin, he slips as he tried to get his pass away, and in the end Fulham are going to win it back with Odoi, or are they? Because I think Bellerin was fouled after his pass. It didn't look like much, but Arsenal are going to get a free kick. And it is from very far out. It's actually from a range that David Luiz has scored here against Fulham at Craven Cottage. From far out, one of his spectacular free kicks. It's a shame he's not on the pitch to try it again. But I don't think anyone will get a shot away now. Although it's Willian who's gone out to take it, it's more of a chance to get a ball into the box and try and make it 4 for Arsenal. And it is Willian who chips it in towards the back post for Xhaka, headed away. Although Xhaka picks it up on the edge of the box down the left. Or down the right, I should say. And then he does get it in with his left. And there's the header from Lacazette, which is over the bar. As we are approaching the 70th minute. 20 minutes to go in this opening game of the Premier League season. As you can see after this, the 3 o'clock game today, Palace against Southampton. After that, it's the one which is grabbing all the headlines, Liverpool against Leeds. And then the final game this evening is West Ham against Newcastle. Here's Odoi for Fulham, in a bit of room, still inside their own half. Plays it towards Caballero, but in the end he's kicked it straight out of the play. And it's really getting frustrating for Fulham. You can tell from all the players, their heads have all dropped. They're whinging, they're moaning about, especially as that ball was kicked straight out of play. And Arsenal have it back now down the right-hand side with Hector Bellerin. Here's Rob Holding. Xhaka. Down the left for Tierney. Aubameyang overlapping. In towards the area. Chips it in towards Lacazette. And comes out for Bellerin. And he pokes it forward. I think it was saved by Ruddock. But the flag was up for offside somewhere. That was similar to the Arsenal opener. Scruffy in and around the box. I think maybe Aubameyang was offside initially with his ball in behind. He tried to get a ball into Lacazette. Might have come off a Fulham player. And was going to be an own goal. Then came out to Bellerin. He toe-poked it goalwards. It was saved by Ruddock. But it wouldn't have counted anyway if there were to be a goal. As it stays 3-0 to Arsenal. And Fulham give the ball away again from their own back half. Back four, this time it was Hector. Now Maitland-Niles chips it over towards Aubameyang. Hector staying with him. Aubameyang running past Hector. He's brought down by Hector. And that's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Out wide by the edge of the box. Down the left-hand side. And Hector's starting to struggle a bit. He was seeming to be playing quite well in this first half. But he gave the ball away there. And that's not for the first time. And he's been beaten by Aubameyang, who's run at him a lot and taken it past him a lot, just like then. In the end, Hector this time was forced to foul the Arsenal man. And Willian's out to take this free kick. This one I'm sure he'll have to cross into the box. Tierney's also there for the outswinger option. Arsenal score from an outswinger. That was from a corner, which was the second goal from debutant Gabriel. And in the end, it's played to the edge of the box for Xhaka with a shot. Deflects away. Comes out to Xhaka again. Out to Bellerin down the right now for Arsenal, who are really starting to enjoy themselves. Xhaka back out to Bellerin. Chipped into Xhaka again. He's got a bit of space, but in the end decides to pass it back and take no risks. Holding. This is Tierney. Now Willian down the left. Aubameyang further in field and then back towards Tierney. Willian. Xhaka. Out towards El Neni. Down the right hand side here is Bellerin. Then Aubameyang out to El Neni. Arsenal moving it around. Fulham getting nowhere near the ball at the moment. Tierney in towards Lacazette, who's managed to hold off Reed, and then Xhaka wins it back. El Neni out the right towards Bellerin. He gets his ball in, and then it's blocked by Brian out for a throw down the right hand side. But there's someone actually down here for Arsenal. I think it was from a challenge by Hector. I'm going to see who it is. I think it's Lacazette. Or is it? No, it's Xhaka, as Hector came in late. Oh, studs were up. He got Xhaka firstly on his left calf and then stamped on his left boot. Of course, Hector is on a yellow. If the referee had seen that better, you never know, he may have been off for that. I don't think it's quite enough for a straight red. And I'm sure if there is any VAR check, it won't take very long to realise nothing's going to change. As Arteta's going to use this time to have a word with two of his back three, Gabriel and Holding. Xhaka is back up on his feet. He'll have to go off because the medics did come on for some treatment. And there's just over 15 minutes left of this one, the first game of the 2021 season. And good news for Arsenal fans. As it stands, they go top of the league. And I won't mention what's going to be happening to Fulham after this one, but I'm sure it won't last long, as there's more games to be played today and tomorrow, and of course on Monday night to conclude with the opening Premier League campaign, or the opening weekend of the Premier League campaign. There won't be any streams for you tomorrow of any of the two games there. That includes both these teams' rivals Spurs. There may be a stream later for Liverpool against Leeds, if you want to tune into that. And also there should be a game Monday evening, the late kickoff between Brighton and Chelsea. We'll have that on Match Centre Live. If you don't want to miss any of our streams across the season, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. But we are back underway now as Xhaka's gone off the pitch and Arsenal have possession. And one interesting thing for you, as you'll always notice the Tag Hair sign coming out from the top left corner of the screen when you're watching TV. That's been changed to Holbert, a new sponsor for the Premier League, I guess. As Fulham have a throw down the right-hand side. Willian has actually come off within that short break. And I'm not quite sure who's come on, but I'll let you know as soon as I see it. I think it's Pepe. It is Pepe who's come on for Arsenal. As Fulham have it here with their goalkeeper, Rodak, who kicks it long, which he hasn't done often. Mitrovic takes it down, and maybe now Mitrovic is on the pitch, more Route 1 approach from Fulham might be better suited. This here's Cavallero down the right, trying to run inside. Tackled by Aubameyang, but only as far as Kearney, who gets a ball in, and then came off Gabriel. I think it came off him last. Or maybe not, because I think it's a goal kick, but we'll let you know. But yeah, Willian coming off. Pepe coming on for Arsenal. As we're just going to take a better view of that if it did come off any Arsenal player. And again, I'm not actually too sure. Maybe it didn't. And no, it didn't. It's an Arsenal goal kick, which they play out from the back to Gabriel. He'll be very happy with how his debut's gone. It almost started terribly with him giving the ball away to Kamara, who had a brilliant opening chance. But he's had a goal himself as as well as a good defensive performance. Here's a chance for Arsenal. Bellingham played Aubameyang in behind. He went round the goalkeeper. It was very far out wide, and his chipped effort back across goal was headed away from Odoi, who ran back on the line. He was onside there as well, Aubameyang. I thought when the ball was played he may have been offside. A brilliant pass from Hector Bellerin. Another one of those Arsenal players who's played very well today. But Aubameyang isn't able to add to his goal, which he scored in the 57th minute. That was a brilliant goal into the top corner. One thing I will say is Arsenal have a corner, which is an in-swinger from Pepe out towards the near post, headed on by Lacazette over the bar. As Arsenal, well, all it is for them is just to see how many goals they can get, and they're going to make another change. And it's El Neni, I believe, who's coming on, it's Xhaka who's going to be coming off. And it's Ceballos who's going to come on for Arsenal. Of course, signed permanently for the Gunners over the summer. And that gives me a chance to say, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like. And if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic, so that you don't miss another stream across this season. We've gained 5 subscribers so far in the stream, which we really, really appreciate as we look for 100. And the play is back underway with a Fulham free kick, in fact, just inside the Arsenal half. I think it was conceded by Rob Holding on Mitrovic. He was just holding on to the Fulham striker. And a little shove on him. And it's going to be a Fulham free kick. And you never know if they get one back now. There's just over 10 minutes left. Although I'm sure this one is well and truly over. But they'll still try and get a ball in, which is going to be taken by Brian, the left back. They've had a few of these set pieces for them, which they haven't been able to make the most of. Unlike Arsenal, who scored from a corner. That was in the 50th minute by Gabriel. It's just over 10 minutes to go here. Referee blows his whistle. It's in by Brian, and then there's no one really making a run for Fulham. They all stopped on the edge of the box. Comes out to Reed though for Fulham, and then he's forced to play it all the way back towards Ream. That's a good ball here towards Josh Onuma. He gets his cross in, Holding won the header away. And then it was well won by Kearney. He plays it back to Odoi. This is Josh Onuma. Now Brian, down the left-hand side for Fulham. And it has been a rare bit of possession for them, and certainly in the last 5-10 minutes or so. This is Hector, Fulham centre-back, out to Odoi down the right, just inside the Arsenal half. He's given it away though, to Aubameyang. Now it's El Neni, and then back to Holding. They weren't quite quick enough to get any sort of counter-attack there, Arsenal. But now they've played it out the right to Pepe, and then back to Ceballos. Holding. Gabriel. Tierney. This is Leno for Arsenal, who did come in ahead of Martinez. That was always going to be an interesting one. And then it was a long ball forward by, I think, Gabriel in the end, which came off a Fulham player. I think Mitrovic, and out for an Arsenal throw down the right. Just under 10 minutes now of this opening game of the Premier League season. And it's quite a slow ending really, with the game already won. The game was won possibly in the 50th minute, but definitely in the 57th minute when Aubameyang put it to bed, as he put it in the top corner brilliantly. Both him and Lacazette have opened their account for the Premier League season on the opening day, which is very good for Arsenal fans. Hasn't been all doom and gloom for Fulham. They have struggled today, but they had a couple of chances early on. If they had taken them before Arsenal got their opener, might have been a completely different match. Of course, they went into half-time at 1-0, which of course kept them in it, but conceding 2 goals fairly early in the second half, something they need to improve on, especially from a set piece. As Arsenal still have the ball here, as we're in the 81st or 82nd minute, in fact. El Neni. Slowly dribbling it forward. This is Tierney. Aubameyang. Tierney again. Gabriel. Now Holding. Again, Arsenal happy to keep possession. Good ball from Bellerin towards Lacazette. And then he was tripped up by Hector. Another foul from the Fulham centre-back. And Arsenal get a free kick just in front of the halfway line. And it's going to be taken by Ceballos and taken short out to El Neni. Aubameyang chips it in towards Lacazette on the edge of the box, and then he tries to play it whilst he had fallen on the ground out down the right towards Pepe. It was well overhit, and it will go out for a Fulham throw down the left by the corner flag. But a lot of positives to take from Arsenal from this opening day. Not only is it a win, but it's away from home. They've played well. They've hit Fulham on the break. They've scored from a set piece. They've looked very dangerous, especially with new signing Willian. He looks like a brilliant addition. Another signing from Chelsea, just like David Luiz, just like Petr Cech in the past. El Neni. Here's Tierney. And then back to El Neni again. Tierney again. Gabriel. And then back to Leno. Ceballos here for Arsenal. Played down the right towards Bellerin. He's had a brilliant game, especially offensively. Not with his pace, which of course you would know him for, but just his passing ability and his vision. That's been superb. That's another positive for Arsenal. Holding towards Ceballos. And then he looks for Lacazette, who came deep. Plays it out towards Bellerin. A good first touch to get away from Brian. Here he is down the right. Chips his ball in. Hector wins it. Oh, and he's taken too long on the ball there in the box. He's given it away, and it's Pepe down the right. 1-2 with Lacazette. Out towards Ceballos. A good nutmeg there on Josh Onuma. Takes it towards the goal line. Good back heel towards Bellerin. Low ball across goal. It's cleared away as far as Ceballos on the edge of the box. He looks to chip one in. And it's gone over Aubameyang. Odoi picks it up and then clears it away for Fulham. As Arsenal were looking for a fourth. And they're still going to look for it as Holding plays it out down the right towards Bellerin again. And then overlapping is Pepe just inside the area. Good skill from Pepe running towards the goal. And somehow it's not in. I think it was cleared away with the low driven cross by a Fulham defender. And it comes out to Josh Onuma here. And then he's taking so long on the ball inside his own half. He didn't realise there were Arsenal players chasing after him. And it seems to have completely given up here, Fulham players. As on the ball, they're slow. No one wants the ball. The heads are all down. They're not even... Players off the ball aren't even looking at it. Although they still have possession here, down the left with Brian. Looking to chip one up towards Mitrovic. Holding got there. And Mitrovic is trying to let this one go out of play. He does. And it's going to be a corner for Fulham. With about 5 minutes to go in this one of normal time. It's down the left-hand side. So usually I think Brian goes out to take those, meaning it will be an out swinger. As defenders such as Hector coming up for this one. Can Fulham get a late consolation? As it is going to be Brian out to take. 2 corners for each side. One of them is scored by Arsenal. That one's headed straight away though at the near post. Out for a Fulham throw down the left. That was by new signing Gabriel. He'll be very happy with how his debut's gone. Although Arsenal are going to make a substitution, their last of the game. Of course, there is only 3 substitutions this season in the Premier League as opposed to 5. The Premier League clubs voted against it. I believe it was 13-7. But it's the man who opened the scoring from a tap-in from 2 yards, Lacazette, who's come off. And it's Nketiah who has come on from the Gunners. And I believe it's his first Premier League appearance since his red card against Leicester in a 1-0 draw at the Emirates last season. As Brian's going to take this throw for Fulham up towards Mitrovic, who's got 3 players around him, but he's managed to keep it for long, but not long enough as Ceballos in the end won it back. And then it's played out for Nketiah towards Bellerin. His touch was too heavy. Fulham have it back. Oh, and it was a brilliant chance for Fulham. They were moving around so well on the edge of the box until the final pass to Mitrovic was played by, I think, Kearney. And it was just overhit and it runs out for a goal kick. But that would have been good for Fulham to at least get one back today. They haven't been terrible, but this second half performance certainly wasn't as good as the first. And really, you could say it is deserved that it's 3-0 Arsenal. At the end of this, they've been clinical. And they've wanted it, Arsenal, a lot more, especially since the second and then the third goal went in. All the Fulham heads have dropped. As Arsenal look to move it forward again down the right, Nketiah couldn't control it though. Although Brian's giving it straight back away to Arsenal with Pepe. Back to Ceballos. Pepe again down the right. And then a good sliding tackle from Brian, which stopped him from getting away. But only as far as an Arsenal throw down the right hand side. Which is taken by Ceballos and thrown backwards. And Arsenal will be happy just on the ball again. Tierney. Out to Aubameyang. Back to Tierney again. And then all the way back to Gabriel. He might look back for Leno. He doesn't. He's still on it, Gabriel. Although in the end he does play it back towards Leno. This here is Rob Holding for Arsenal. Gabriel again. They've slowed it right down here, the Gunners. As they look to see it out with a minute and a half of normal time to go. Gabriel. Holding. I'm sure there won't be too much stoppage time. There hasn't been too many stoppages. But with this game completely over, I'm sure maybe a couple of minutes at the end of the 90. We'll find out in just over a minute. Here's El Neni for Arsenal. Chips it out towards the right hand side, towards Pepe. It was Brian who won the first header, but the second ball was won by Ceballos. And then Pepe. Back to Holding. Ceballos. And now Gabriel. Here's Tierney. Now Aubameyang who picks it up on the edge of the box. He's got 3 Fulham players around him, and in the end it was Adoy, I believe, who won it back. He plays it back to the keeper, Roddick, who kicks it long towards Mitrovic, who was able to take it down, and it breaks for Kearney. And then his shot from just in front of the halfway line. Well, he hardly even got it off the ground, to be honest, and it slowly dribbled out for a goal kick, which is taken quickly by Arsenal. But out from the back again, which has been the case for both sides. They've looked to play it out from the back. That's a brilliant ball from Bellerin towards Pepe. Down the right, he's taking on Ream. Ream got a foot in. And it's gone out for a corner to Arsenal. And I'm sure will be the last of the game. 15 seconds of normal time to go. And if you have enjoyed the stream today as we're coming towards the end, make sure to leave a like. That would be much appreciated. And if you could subscribe, that would be amazing. With notifications on so you don't miss another stream. The corner's been taken short by Arsenal and then out towards Tierney, who gets the ball in with his weak foot. Adoy won the header and then it's cleared away by Fulham for an Arsenal throw down the left, still inside the Fulham half. And there's been 3 minutes added on here at Craven Cottage. And I'm sure there won't be too much more action in the last 3 minutes. As Arsenal have it inside their own half here with Rob Holding. Here's El Neni. Now Aubameyang who's come short. This is Tierney down the left for Arsenal. Fulham haven't been able to get near the ball for the last few minutes and really throughout most of this second half. It was fairly even in the first half, but Arsenal have certainly improved and, well, Fulham certainly haven't in the second, and that's why they will fall to defeat on the opening day here. Although they've got it now with Onuma, but he hasn't been able to keep it for long, and Ceballos got to tackle in, and Pepe trying to dribble it away. In the end, it was a heavy touch straight into Ream. This is Kearney. Good ball into Bobby Dover-Reid, and then Holding was able to intercept his heavy touch. Kearney wins it back though for Fulham. Now Adoy. Reid. Back to Kearney. Reid again. Bobby Dover-Reid this time. Now Hector for Fulham. They're happy to keep the ball Fulham as they don't want to concede anymore in what is the last minute and a half of stoppage time. Here's Brian. Down the left. Trying to chip one in towards Mitrovic. He shoved over Gabriel as he tried to win the ball. And Arsenal will get a free kick. As we are approaching the last minute of stoppage time. Disappointing one for Scott Parker as he returns to the Premier League. It's going to be his first full season as a manager in the Premier League. Of course, so too with Mikel Arteta. Of course, Scott Parker was the manager of Fulham as they did get relegated, but he really had no chance of keeping them up at the end of the 18-19 season. Here's El Neni. And now Tierney. He's giving it away towards Odoi inside the Arsenal half. And then it's played back to Hector. 30 seconds left. Reed. Will Fulham maybe give it one last go of some form of consolation? At the moment it looks like they're happy to just keep onto the ball with Hector. And now Ream. Hector again. Good ball in between the lines to find Kearney. Although he can only play it back to Odoi. And then Odoi turns back. And then plays it back to Hector. And then that's full time. The full-time whistle goes, and in the end, it's a comfortable win for Arsenal on the opening day of the season. At half-time, it could have been anyone's game with Arsenal being a goal up thanks to Lacazette's finish in the 9th minute. That was from 2 yards out after a real scrappy one. It was bobbling around inside the penalty area for a while. All that after Fulham had a great opening chance as new signing Gabriel gave the ball away to Kamara, who was one-on-one with Leno. Leno got a hand out to stop Kamara getting around him. Although in the second half, Arsenal were too much for Fulham. It was a corner goal from Gabriel on his debut. And then just 7 minutes after that, Aubameyang running at Hector, getting on his right foot and curling it superbly into the top corner to make it 3-0. Fulham, in the end, were completely outplayed. And in the end, it was deserved of a 3-0 win for Arsenal. A lot of positives for them. An away win for them on the opening day of the season. Just like what they got last year, Arsenal, up at Newcastle. But for now, you could look at it this way. Arsenal top of the league, Fulham bottom of the league, because it's the first game of the Premier League season, which has finished Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. And make sure to subscribe for more streams with notifications on. You never know when it might just be your team or when these two teams will be back on the channel next. If you've liked the stream, please leave a like down below. We really appreciate that. But thank you very much for watching. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.